This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, you can see, please note on the syntax, students. So what is the syntax for create table? You can see create is the word that followed by we want to create table, because even we have views, we have index. Don't worry, I'll explain all those things in the coming session. Okay, so we have views, we have index, we can create many things by using create command. So that is the reason why create followed by table. Now the table followed by, we have to provide the name of the table. We have to provide the name of the table. So what is the table name I'm assuming here? The table name I'm assuming here is what is called user info. The table name is what I'm assuming, user info. That followed by column 1, column 2, column 3. What is this column 1, column 2, column 3? Means fields. Fields required in this particular table. Okay, so if we see the problem statement, in the problem statement, I said I want username and I want password. So the first column is what? Username. So the first column is what is called username. Username is the first column. And what is the second column? Password is the second column. Password is the second column. This username and password refers what? The name of the columns. That followed by what? We have to provide the data type. Data type is nothing but what? It refers the type of data we want to store in this particular data. So what our data type is referring, Andy? The data type is referring the type of data we want to store. Okay, so normally username, password means what type of data? Normally these are strings. Am I correct? Username, password. Username, password. Username, password in Java or in Python, we'll call it as what? A string. Okay, whereas in Oracle we don't have string. What we have a data type. Yes, we can use varchar, we can use nvarchar, no problem. Okay, now what we are going to do, by using this syntax, let's create a table. Okay, let's create a table by using this syntax. Okay, now let's come here. So SQL. Okay, now see, create table. I want to create table. So create table. What is the name of the table? User info. Create table user info. That followed by yes. You can press enter, no problem, or even you can continue in the same line also, no problem. User info. Now, first one. What is the first one? Username. This username is of which type? Varchar2. So varchar2 of I'll say 20. Varchar2 of 20, comma, comma. What is the next one we want? Password. Password is also which type? Varchar2. Varchar2 of some 20. As all the required columns are defined, currently I'm taking only plain table, amma. Later on we'll include constraints. Okay, so a plain table, create table user info, username and password. Okay, as all columns are defined, so just semicolon, enter. The moment I press Y, sir, Y2. Yeah, actually, Amma, we have varchar2. I will give you the differences. Okay, please give me some time. Please give me some time. I will give you, sorry, Please give me some time. I will give you the differences between char, varchar and varchar. Okay, students, please spare some time. I will give you the differences. So initially, I'm just creating a plain table just to explain you people how to create a table. That's what our concept. Okay, so as all columns are done, so just simply press enter. Now once it is done, so table is created. So internally, what happens or what database will do? The database internally, it creates what? A table. A table with how many columns? Two columns. What is the name of the first column? The name of the first column is what is called user name. What is the name of the second column? The second field name is what is called second column, password. Like this, internally, your database is going to create a table with two columns. Okay, students? Yes? Right. Now, okay, now let's copy this. We'll just copy this to our notepad so that if any possibility of sharing this, I will try to share. Okay, so in this way, we can create a table. So is this clear, students? Now, my next problem statement is how to fetch the information about table. Now, what is the meaning of about table, students? Yes, there is one keyword. The keyword is called, what is that keyword, students? Metadata. Yes, anyone, what is metadata? Amma, anyone, what is metadata? Yes, students. So, data about data is called metadata. Data about data is called metadata. Or in general, I can say your profile is what metadata. Why your profile or your resume is your metadata is because that profile or resume is explaining about yourself. Is my example clear, students? Yes, your profile is explaining about yourself. Who are you? What is your name? What is your father's name? Where you are staying? What is your address? So this entire information is available in one paper. The name of that paper is what we are calling it as a profile. Am I correct? So in general terminology, it is a profile, whereas in database terminology, it is called metadata. Okay, data about data is simply called as metadata. This is data about what? It gives the complete information about table. What information we'll get? The number of columns in a table, the number of columns in a table, and the name of each column, the name of each column, the size of each column, the name of each column, the size of each column, and so on. All this complete information is what we'll call it as metadata, or simply data about data, or data about table. I can say data about data or data about what is called table. This is called metadata. Now, how to fetch this information means using a command is not available in the slide. Using a command called, what is the command, students? Describe. So once you enter into interview room, he will ask, explain about yourself. Am I correct? So he's asking lengthy question. Need not to say. He can just ask, hey, describe. So he's asking, describe about you, because you're the person who is taking interview. So interviewer simply say describe. So by saying describe, you understand that, oh, he's asking about me. Am I correct? Now here, describe means what? Describe followed by, you see, table name. So your DBMS is going to describe about this table. Means number of columns, name of each column, size of column. Let me use that here. DESCRABE, describe, that followed by what is our table name? User info. So the moment I gave user info, describe user info, semicolon, you can see. Is it clear what is the meaning of metadata now? How many columns are there? One, two columns are there. Name of each column. One is username, another one is password. What is the type of each column? Username is varchar2, password is also varchar2. What is the size of column? Username size is 20, password is 20. This complete information is what we'll call it as metadata. What is the meaning of metadata? Data about data or data about table is simply called as metadata. Is simply called as metadata. Are these two commands or queries clear, students? So we discussed about, one is how to create a table and the second one is how to know the information about existed table or described table. It's clear now. The next one, how to insert a row in a table. Yes, how to insert a row or how to insert the user information in a table. Any guesses, students? Any guesses? What is the command or what is the query to insert a row in a table? Insert, right. So what is the, yeah, thank you. So someone has already given. So insert is the command. So what is the syntax of insert? What is the syntax of insert? Students, I'm not skipping these things. Just today I want to explain just the overview of important commands. Then tomorrow we'll dig in detail. Okay, students, that is what my agenda. Okay, so that is why I'm just skipping this for tomorrow's session. Okay, yeah, you can see what is the syntax, students? Insert into table name, values, whatever the values you want to store. So what happens here, you can see, when let's assume that how insert is working is what I'm trying to explain with the support of this particular diagram. When I was, see, already 3 rows are already available in my table. You can see customer ID, customer name, date of registration, user ID, password. 3 rows are already available in a table. Now I'm trying to insert a new customer information. You can see what is that customer information. Customer ID is C4, customer name is Ellen, and the date of registration is 13th March, and his username is ln1004 and his password is ln@123. So I want to insert this information. So we have given a query, insert into customer values, these values. Now the moment we are given these values, where these values are going to store means already my table contains 3 records. Already my table contains how many records? 3 records. Now this data is going to store as a fourth record. Now this data is going to store as a fourth record. Is it clear? Because management is a responsibility of DBMS. What you can do, you can just say that, hey DBMS, please insert this data. That's it. So where the data has to insert and all those things is the taken care by your DBMS. So DBMS always inserts, or insert command always inserts a new row at the end of the table. It always inserts a new row at the end of the table. If it is a plain table, if it is a plain table, why I am using plain table? If no indexes, nothing is there. Okay, as we are talking about plain tables, it always inserts. Okay, let's see, let's apply this insert to our table. Okay, now you can see here, insert into user info values. Now username is the first one. This is of which type, students? Varchar. Now remember one thumb rule is, whenever you are inserting any string type of data, whenever you are inserting any string type of data, that data must be enclosed in single quotes. Okay, so this is what? User1 comma pass1. Yes, you can see what we got. One row is created. Okay, let's see. User2 pass2. One row is created. User3 pass2. One row is created like this. We can create a row, or we can insert the data into a table, user table. Is the insert command clear, students? Hello? Is the insert command clear, Amma? Now, my next problem statement is, see, we discussed how to create a table. We discussed how to get the table information, how to insert. What is the meaning of multiple values, Amma? Can you just tell me, what do you mean by multiple values? Hello? So please tell me, what is the meaning of multiple values? So here, these are multiple values only, Nama. I mean, you mean to say multiple values or multiple rows? Okay. No, using one insert statement, you are allowed to insert only one row at a time. Using one insert statement, you are allowed to insert only one row at a time. If you want to insert multiple rows, then you have to give this insert statement multiple times. But there are some ways. We'll see. Okay. Now, so we created a table. We fetch the data about the table using describe command. Sorry, describe command, and we learned how to insert the table. Now the last query for today's class is how to retrieve the data from table. Tell me, students, guess what is the command? What is the verb? Select. So select command is used to retrieve the data from the table. How to use select query? Okay, you can see here how to use select query. We are ready to discuss about this constraints so much. So tomorrow we'll discuss about constraints, please. Okay. So how to use select query? I'm trying to show you the syntax, please. You can see select. Select is the query. That followed by what are all the columns you want, you can specify. You can fetch the data from selected columns, or you can fetch the data from all the columns. If you want to fetch the data from selected columns, you can see cust id, cust name, date of registration. So here we are specifying what? The specific columns. Okay. If you want to retrieve the data from all the columns, then we have one symbol. What is that symbol, students? Star. Star refers what? Star refers what is called ALL all. So it is fetching the data from all the columns. So if you want to get the data from the selected columns, then we can go with what is called, we can provide the list of column names between select and from, but followed by the table name. Let's use this one, students. Let's use this one. Okay, let me go to, okay, now you can see I will say select star from user info. See, got all three user information. Or even I can see select sorry, user name from what is called user info. We'll get only what? User names. The same way, select password from what is called user info. You can see we got the list of passwords. Is it clear? So in this way, we can fetch the required data from what is called table by using which query? By using the select query. By using the select query. So is this clear, students? Whatever we discussed today is clear? Yes. So we discussed about how to create a table, how to fetch the data from the table, how to insert a row from the table. So we discussed about create table and what is called insert query, and then what is called select query basics. Okay. So okay, so we'll stop our today's discussion here, and for your practice, so please replicate the same. You also please create user info with username and password, and please practice in your systems. Okay. Now tomorrow let's discuss about what are the different data types that are available under create. I mean, what are the different data types that are available to create a table, and what are the different constraints we can apply on this particular table. So I mean to say primary key, unique, null, not null. So this is what we'll discuss in the tomorrow's session. That followed by the various versions of insert. Insert has many commands, I mean many formats, various versions of inserts, and then alter. All whatever the left out DDL DML commands are there, we'll discuss all the commands in the tomorrow's session. Is this clear, students? So how you are feeling? So is it slow or fast, or you required a bit fast? This option is yours. So if you want me to move a bit faster, I'll move fast, or if you want me to continue in the same way, I'll continue in the same way. Okay, good. So tomorrow we'll go a bit faster. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. No problem. Don't worry. So if anyone has any doubts in between, you can interrupt me by using the chat window. You can ask me the question. Don't worry about that. I'll answer each and every question. Okay. So we'll continue tomorrow, and tomorrow I think we already communicated, I guess. So our tomorrow session is 2 o'clock afternoon. Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Okay, students, good night to everyone. Yes. Yeah, let me check, Amma, because in between it was stopped, right? I'll check and I'll update. Okay. Yeah, I record myself from my side. I was recorded. Just let me check about the first recording session, whether is what is it was saved or not. Okay. Yes. Okay, students. Good night.